The UK car industry is safe to say non-existent unless you're talking luxury cars, your Rolls-Royces, Bentleys, Jaguars or Jaguars if you're American. Gone are the days of Rover, Morris and Jensen, but one UK car brand that has stood the test of time is Vauxhall. Bear with me, the football bit is coming. Vauxhall Motors has existed for over 100 years, producing cars such as the Cavalier, Corsa and the Bedford van. Now, Vauxhall have two plants in the United Kingdom, one in Luton in Bedfordshire, hence the Bedford van, and Ellesmere Port, Cheshire. It's here where you'll find a small non-league football club founded by Vauxhall workers. Vauxhall, the company, started building a new plant in Ellesmere Port in 1961, with the plant opening in 1963. This was marked by the founding of a new football club for Ellesmere Port called Vauxhall Motors Football Club. Starting in local football, the Ellesmere Port League, by 1965 the club were promoted to the West Cheshire League. The club played on the site of their factory, the former RAF Hutton Park, until the 1970s when they moved to their current home, which is called for sponsorship reasons the Van Eupen Arena. The club has always existed in non-league football despite being owned by the Vauxhall Motors company, which means it has been owned by General Motors, meaning that an American company owned a non-league football club, and is now owned by a combination of Fiat and Peugeot called Stellantis. The club's records include a semi-final appearance in the FA Vase in the 1999-2000 season, a fourth-round appearance in the FA Trophy in 2001-02, and the best FA Cup performance for the club was in 2002-2003, where they reached the second round proper of the FA Cup, and it was in that FA Cup run, their first in club history, that saw them knock out an Ian Holloway-led QPR in the first round, and the TV cameras were brought to the club as well for their second round clash against Macclesfield, which they ultimately lost by 2-0. The highest level the club has ever played at is the Conference North, but by 2014 the club faced financial problems which resulted in the club tendering their resignation to the Football Conference after finishing 15th in the Conference North. The club currently play in the Northern Premier League Division 1 West. Not the most successful football club owned by a car company. You can't compare Vauxhall Motors with the Volkswagen-owned Wolfsburg or FC Sochaux Montpellier, who were owned by Peugeot. Now the company that owned Peugeot owned Vauxhall Motors. The reason we decided to highlight Vauxhall Motors Football Club is because in a parallel world, the scenario is that Stellantis, the owners of Fiat and Peugeot, who are mostly controlled by a certain Italian family that own Juventus, the Agnellis. Could you imagine, in this modern day of multi-club ownership models, Juventus of Serie A, FC Sochaux Montpellier of the Championship National in France, and then Northern Premier League Vauxhall Motors? If I was Stellantis, I'd get Vauxhall Motors in the Premier League. That's exactly what I would do. Brilliant marketing.